Hello, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I just realized one thing I forgot to do before I started here. Didn't make the countdown either. I was running around setting up a very important camera angle, which I'm gonna have to bring in a second here. But I'm gonna kill the BTS stream now that the main stream has started. The BTS folks were watching me not be in here when the countdown ran, so that was fun. Okay, here he is. So I was setting up a BTS or a camera upstairs as I was scrambling up there because the cats were being very cute and I wanted to have a better view of them. So Hopefully I can bring that in through. Oh no, the Pro Convert's not turned on. Shoot. The other one's turned on. What happened to the other one? Oh, I bet I put it on a different network. I was messing with stuff. Is that what happened? Yeah, it is. That is what happened. I put it on a different network. Oh my gosh. I was doing some, what was this for? It was for, I think it was, oh, it was for the Mevo video. It was for the Mevo video. What I was doing was I had the Mevo cameras all set up on their own LAN for that video, VLAN, and I moved the Pro Convert over to that VLAN also, and that's why it's not on its normal IP address. So I have to go and reboot the Pro Convert, get back on this network, and then I can pull up the Kitten cam. I do need more coffee. Lee's Boring Life says, I saw you made an appearance in the chat for the YoloBox live stream this week. Yeah, so I was helping Frank with his comparison of the Mevo cameras to the Yolo Live camera. He had a spreadsheet, and I was doing a quick little fact check on it. And then I was like too curious, so I had to go and drop into his stream to see how his stream went. So, yeah, that's why I was there. But I might actually join him on the stream live on Wednesday this week. So we'll see. We will see. Okay, is this thing booted back up yet? Oh, I got all these updates for my networking gear to run. Everybody just calm down and stop updating your software. That's what I say. Too many updates. That did not, I think I may have rebooted it too early. Okay, well, we'll have to, it is great that the Pro Converts are PoE. It is. Okay, anyway, let's get, while we wait for that, what is the plan for today? There is very little plan today. I was going to do a demo of another switcher, but this week was weird. It was a weird week. This is the week that I would have been in Brisbane, Australia, except the flights were extremely expensive and long, and I decided to do the event remotely instead, and then that turned out to be maybe not the best plan. Oh, apparently that Pro Convert was already on some downstream key or something. Yep. Well, the feed works. I didn't know that was on downstream key too. That's fun. But here, let's cut to the actual Kitten cam. They are having a little bath. They're very cute. This is my old iPhone running the Shoot app over wireless NDI to the Pro Convert. So yeah, anyway, I really should put these in a super source. That's what we're going to do. We're going to use super source 2 for that. And you're going to get Kitten cam as I explain what's going on. So I was, she's looking straight at the phone. Yeah, I was supposed to be in Brisbane, decided to do it remotely, and then turns out that doing a event on Brisbane time, having to do the time zone shift, and not being there in person, it turns out is worse. I'm pretty good at dealing with jet lag when I can, I don't know, get sun at the actual local time, for example. So, yeah. So anyway, I had not much sleep at not the right times all last week, and I had no time to plan or think about anything else. So, fun. Return of the cat cam. I'm Matt says, not a fan of the cat, but look at my last name. What do you expect? Cool. Okay, so if you do have a question, follow the lead of the regulars here and drop your question in the chat with a cue beforehand, before the question, and it'll filter it into the screen a little better. So I can see it here through the chats. But yeah, otherwise we're just gonna chat about streaming gear, maybe some cats, and maybe do some demos of things. We'll see what I have in arm's reach I can show. Michael asks, have you ever had a Blackmagic product just die on you? I had an Ultra Studio Recorder 3G die on me last weekend. You know, I think I've had some of the converters die on me, but just because I have so many of them. But that's a bummer. That's a bummer. I do have the Recorder 3G and I don't use it ever. Although I finally found a use for the Ultra Studio Monitor 3G, the opposite version of that, which is actually how Lily is doing chats on her stream now. So for her stream, she has the ATEM Mini Extreme upstairs and has been using the Chromecast for a long time to Chromecast the chat tab. And she did what I normally do, which is, or I guess not normally, what I used to do, which is go to the live stream window and pop out the chat. And then, oh, I do have the extension installed on this. And then Chromecast this tab. And I think you have to like right click on it. Yeah, then you can cast it. And when it's black background down here, then you can Luma key it into the ATEM. The problem is that is a wireless link, so it's often there's some video compression that you see in the chats, and it's a little finicky. And it got to the point where it was like frustrating enough for her that I was like, okay, I'm gonna find a better solution for this. And I switched her over to what I do for my chats now, which is using OBS. So in OBS, I have the web page of where I can push chat messages to. So I can show a chat message and it'll show up in OBS, and then OBS outputs it over, in my case, over the Ultra Studio, what's it called? Ultra Studio 4K. So it's got 2 SDI outputs, but the ATEM Mini Extreme is not SDI, and I didn't want to buy another one of those because they're like $1,000. But I did have the Monitor 3G, which is a little tiny box with just HDMI out. So for hers, we get just the color, the fill channel, no alpha channel, but that's equivalent to the Chromecast, except it's now better because it's not wireless, and it's also always the right resolution. The problem with the Chromecast is, like, depending on the size of your computer window, it kind of gets weird when it gets over to the Chromecast. So now it's always exactly the same size for her, and it's been working really well. The only downside is that she has to remember to plug it into the computer and turn on OBS. But overall, not too bad. Great. Okay. Good questions coming in, and let's queue these up. Hi from South Africa. Can I output my ATEM Mini HDMI to YoloBox Mini HDMI input and stream from the YoloBox? Absolutely. You absolutely can. That is a great combo, in fact. You know, I actually did a video about this quite a while ago, and I think it was when the YoloBox Mini was pretty new. Yeah, here's the link. I'll drop this link in the chat. This is a video about exactly that setup. So that is for you. Take a look at that video. But yeah, it's a great combo because you get all the graphics benefits of the YoloBox graphics, playing back video clips built in. If you do have a webcam connected also, or like another camera, then you can do you know, multicam stuff on the YoloBox Mini. Streaming to multiple locations, all those things that the ATEM can't do. So it's a great combo. But then the ATEM is good at like, well, it's got 4 video inputs and you can instantly switch between them. And I think the audio features are a little bit better in the ATEM also. So you can do more audio mixing stuff there. That's not an opinion. That's a fact. There are more audio features in the ATEM Mini compared to the YoloBox. So yeah, great combo. So definitely take a look at that. BPG says, great to see you. How are you doing today? I am doing well. Oh, you know what I should do is I should put the cats up on the tiny little screen behind me. Let's put the cats. Maybe I can put them on the TV. The TV is turning. So right before the stream started, I shrunk these little pins because once there's a lot of pins on the map, then it actually gets a little bit hard to see once they start overlapping. And now they don't overlap as much, so you can actually see like the big cluster of faces in the US. But I'm now realizing that once it's on the TV screen, it was actually kind of nice having them big. Anyway, well, yeah. Okay, cats go on the big screen. There we go, while they take a nap. That's cute. We'll put the map down on the little screen. Where was I? Oh my gosh. Today is oh, and I forgot to bring my branded cups, and now you have to see me advertise somebody else. Okay, I'm scrolling back through the questions that have been queued up with the letter Q in front. Don't forget to say Q at the beginning. Chris says, have I ever tried any of the FeelWorld PTZ cameras? No. The only PTZ cameras I've used are the OBSBot Tail Air. I still haven't actually bought a proper PTZ camera. I'm considering it for not until I rearrange the studio though, because there isn't. I can't add another thing in here until I rearrange it. that's the goal. So yeah, maybe I don't know what it'll be. I do know I like what's the Canon, the one that David Joshua Ford uses. Looks really nice. Canon, I forget what it is. It's one of the Canon PTZs. It's expensive, but it's I like the look of it, and I'm tempted to get that one, but also like that's maybe not the first PTZ camera I should get. Okay, but yeah, no, I haven't tried any of the FeelWorld ones. Gwen says CRN 300 and 500. That's right. That's the number. That's just such a random letters and numbers. No wonder I couldn't remember it. Thank you. Do I still have the weather thing available? Oh, I do. I should put that up today. Where is my weather? There it is. Should be running. Why isn't it running today? Maybe if I force reload it. That's weird. There we go. Don't know why that was needed to get reloaded. Okay. Well, so the weather ticker, if you say where you're from, say hello from, and then your city, it'll add your city to the ticker down below. So we'll see what the weather's like for all of our viewers around the world. Alonso says there's CRN 100 now, which is the same as N300 without SDI. Well, I think I would want SDI. Yeah. Robert says some Canon cameras don't source through the YoloBox switchers without some tweaking. Oh, interesting. David's slow pans on the PTZs are amazing. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he does a good job of that. I'm looking at the Tail Air, but I have to spend $850 to get it configured for the YoloBox. Not sure it's worth it. Oh, is it? Does it really end up costing that much? So the tail air I thought was like $500 for the camera, which seems like a reasonable price for the camera. Yeah, okay, so it's $500 for the camera, but you need well, you don't need it, but I would definitely recommend getting the Ethernet adapter for it. So then you can do PoE into this. So you power it and give it a wired network connection for NDI if you're using NDI, and that's great. That's $100. So that's $600. How are you getting up to $850 for the YoloBox? Because with the YoloBox, I would assume you're bringing it in over HDMI, not NDI. So you don't need the NDI license key. Oh, SDI and remote and Ethernet. Okay, well, yeah. Right. So their little remote controller is part of this pack. I thought they sold it separately. Yeah, they do. $80. So the funny thing is this remote controller, see how there's like this thing on this clip on the side? I don't think I have mine. I don't know where mine went. It clips into something, and I think we might finally see what that is at NAB this year. So we'll see. Okay, let me go through. I'm going to scroll back. Seabird says, how do you compare the Mevo versus the new Mevo Core? Is it worth the extra cost and lens cost? So the video I did this week is shows the new Mevo Cores, which are the little box cameras from Logitech. This compared to the original Mevos, hands down, this is like 1,200 times better video quality. Like no question, even a little bit. This is like a good lens, a good sensor, a good lens. Other than the like physical sensor and lens, it works the same way as the original Mevos. But yeah, this is like a massive step up in the quality. Michael says it's offensive that they bundle this new Mevo with the old ones. I mean, they are. So I do think that actually using both in the same stream has its uses. Like the little ones are great because they're tiny and you can like mount them in weird places. They even have image flip, so you can mount them upside down and then flip the image back around, which is super handy. I still think you could have a production where you use like 2 of the Mevo cores and then 2 of the original Mevos, and for weird angles that you wouldn't want to put the big cameras in. So it makes sense that they still want them all to work together. Gwen says, curious if there's any IP video solutions that are low enough latency for iMac to an HDMI projector. I think the 2110 stuff is supposed to be that. I still haven't actually plugged mine in, which is silly. So I should really do that. But then we can test out the latency on that. But I think that's what it's supposed to be. Other than that, theoretically, theoretically NDI can get low enough latency for that, but I think that's only when it's the not NDI HX, which is the extra compression, because then it's doing less work, so it's lower latency. There's always going to be some latency for that, but there's also always latency even in like wired solutions. It just might be like a frame or two, which is usually good enough for that. But yeah, once I get the 2110 stuff set up, it's sitting over here in these boxes still. Then we'll be able to take a look at that. So I have this deck link, which is going to go into the Thunderbolt dock on the desk, and then I've got the third rack mount box. So this should give me enough stuff to test. I'm gonna well, long term, there's going to go, one of these is going to go up into Lily's office once that gets set up. But then I might actually do that in the meantime, set up one of these upstairs in her little studio upstairs, just to test. And because I do have a wired network up there, which I can put on the 10 gig network. So, and that would give me three ins, 3 outs. I'm really curious to see how this goes, because it's like a mini video, what do you call it? Matrix switcher, not just a converter. So I just haven't had a chance to boot these up yet. Too many new switchers to check out. That's the problem. Everyone stop with your product launches. Messing up my content schedule. Wired full on NDI on a good LAN is pretty amazing. Yeah, I think once you if you actually tune it well, then you can do good stuff with that. BPG says, what 4G LTE modem would you recommend for use with the YoloBox Ultra? I'm thinking Nighthawk M1, but I've seen some negative feedback, which worries me a little bit. I don't have a ton of experience with LTE modems, so most of what I've done is stuck a SIM card into the YoloBox, tethered the YoloBox over Wi-Fi to my phone, which actually has worked surprisingly well, and the and I do have a little USB stick, which I haven't been super impressed with, probably just because the antennas aren't super big in it. But I have also heard good things about the Nighthawk M1. People seem to be a fan of it. I think you're always going to have some negative feedback about anything, so I wouldn't read too much into it. I'm curious if anybody in the chat, though, has experience with that. Gwen says, stop with your product launches, he says, right before NAB. No, I know. It's really a problem. I have, yeah, I have my to-do list before NAB, before the bunch of new things that are going to come out, is already growing. I do know that it looks like now the Rode product that I went down to LA to see, that will be announced at NAB the first day. So I'm going to go do an interview at the booth so that you can get a first look at it on this channel. But then I won't actually get it in here until after NAB. So well, it'll be a little bit longer before I get a real hands-on on it. Oh yeah, GL iNet has some good stuff too. It's been a few years since I've bought the new GL iNet though. Andre says, I have a feeling the YOLO Live needs to come up with a better payment method for enabling the NDI support, perhaps like vouchers that OBSBot provides. Yeah. OBSBot has it pretty well dialed in, I guess, because it's just like a thing you can buy off their website. The clip is the OBSBot version of the Sting button. I know they were supposed to launch that. I swear they said they were going to launch it last year at NAB. Or not at NAB, they said they were going to launch it, and then it didn't come out after, and now it's already a year later. So we'll see what their plan is with that. Noel says, if I want 3 OBSBot tail air cameras with NDI and want NDI for the YoloBox Ultra, do I need to pay for 4 NDI license keys, about $400? Yeah, I suppose so. This is the problem with NDI, is that it's not free. It's not an open protocol. So yeah, each camera needs its own license, and the YoloBox needs its own license as well, if you want to do it that way. Yen says, Nighthawk M1 has been pretty stable for me, but it totally depends on the provider. I connected to the ATEM Extreme via USB and switch Wi-Fi off. Oh, cool. So it does it acts as a USB modem like a phone does on the ATEM. That's cool. Cool. Michael says, most of GL iNet's hotspots use only LTE Cat 4 or 6, which I wouldn't recommend for video streaming, although their routers are very featureful. Just take a closer look at that. Okay, cool. Good tip. Cameron says, a little off topic. This sounds on topic. Are there camcorders with good sensors that could work for non-tech users in Teams meetings, multi-hour training sessions as an instructor. They're made for video. Yeah, totally. I mean, how much are you willing to spend? That's the question. There's definitely cheap camcorders that are going to be like not as good as a phone, for example. Other than the fact that you can power them and they just last forever. But yeah, if you want to spend more than that, more than like $200 or something, you can definitely get good camcorders. And yeah, those are made for video. They're made to be powered on continuously and just work always, and less fiddly than mirrorless cameras for sure. Oh, Gwen says Canon XA7075 and XF605 and 1-inch sensors and can be set to full auto for non-tech users. Yeah. What are you doing? Says, if you want to peek into a full NDI setup, Churchfront recently toured one. Video title starts with the ultimate audio and video over IP setup. Good tip. Good tip. Matt says, oh, I forgot about the YoloBox needing NDI as well. Now I'm up to 950. This is going downhill fast. Yeah. I mean, yeah, this stuff is not free. Okay, let me see what there was something else in the chat. Oh, Frank is here. Demo of the web control and app control in the YoloBox Ultra. I do need to film that video still, but yeah, the YoloBox finally has a control protocol now for remote controlling it, which is very exciting. And I'm going to do a quick little video showing that. And it's been on my list, but then this week was terrible. So yeah, I did not get to it this week. Where is the YoloBox? Oh, it's on that shelf. I can probably, maybe I can break it out. MT says, don't forget to hit the like button. Good reminder. Frank says, how long does it take to be natural in live streaming? How do you get to the habit of looking at the camera for eye contact with the audience? Well, one thing is that I decided to put my comments up in a teleprompter, so now I can read them while looking at the camera. But other than that, yeah, it just takes a while to get used to looking at the camera when you're talking instead of looking at yourself. If I look at myself, I'm looking down here or up there, depending on which one I want to look at. It looks a bit more natural to look down, I feel like, instead of up. So I try to look at the one down low if I need to. But it takes a while, and then you just kind of get used to it of like pretending that the camera is your audience, and you have to just practice, I guess. Speaking of, I was just watching Tom Buck's video about this. I need to update my software for the prompter, but the Elgato prompter, which is the one that I use, has a couple new features, and one of them is a cool little trick which can help with this. Where is it? Camera Hub. I don't think it's in the current version. Oh, Jesse says good morning from Redlands. Oh, just missed you, sorry. I used to go to Redlands all the time. Used to go down there all the time, fly into Ontario Airport and grab a rental car and go into town to Esri HQ. You probably know them if you're in Redlands. I was trying to open up Camera Hub. I think it's a new feature, so it's not in this one. So I need to install the new version. Let's do that really quick. Where's my download? What could go wrong? Installing a firmware update for gear that I'm using on the live stream. This is relevant, I swear. Okay, where did the download go? It just says thanks for downloading, but it's not actually doing a download. Lovely. Well, I guess this is not happening. Anyway, point was, there's a new feature on the teleprompter which adds, you can add a little crosshair into the screen, which is you can put in the center of your lens. That way you know where on the teleprompter your lens is. Because if I look at the top right corner, that's this. If I look at the top left corner, that's this. Bottom left corner is this, and bottom right corner is this. And the lens, I think, is right about there. I can't see the lens, obviously, because it's a mirror. But so it takes some practice to nail the center. But they added a little thing where you can add an overlay. And yeah. Okay, we're going to download this firmware because I really want to show you that feature. I just don't understand why you're going to make me subscribe to your newsletter to get it. No, now I'm subscribed. Great. This is so weird. Sometimes Chrome just decides that downloads don't exist, so that's lovely. View, window, downloads. Oops. Yeah, it's like not, it's not in the list. Lovely. Oh my gosh, what just happened? A key got stuck and it just cycled through all my tabs. That was funny. This is a disaster. What a chaos stream today. Okay, download. Maybe I have to do it in Safari. Camera Hub 1.9. Continue with download. Allow. Well, that one worked. Okay. So Chrome is just broken. Great. Install. Okay. While that's going, let's see what's in the chat. Oh, my teleprompter just disappeared. So I guess that means that's updating. Ontario is my preferred SoCal airport. Yep. Okay, it's booting back up. Both lefts are close to looking right at us. Oh, now I can see the lens. When it's not a white screen, I can see through it. Where's the... Where was I? Way too many creators ignore camcorders because all they know is mirrorless. Being a consultant, I had time with the kids who think camcorders are outdated. Oh yeah, that's also true. IT never gets old, says Frank. When I use the YoloBox, I most definitely use the output in front of me rather than looking down at the YoloBox internal screen. Do you use it on it with an external monitor then? Do you just like mirror your YoloBox screen to an external display? I'm curious how you have that set up. Graham says, do you stream to YouTube with RTMP-S? My work network has problems with VBR and users seeing buffering unless I use RTMP. I don't think I am using RTMP-S. Oh wait, I am today. On the web presenter, protocol is RTMP-S. I didn't actually know. That was not intentional. I wonder how that happened. Let's pull up my web presenter config and see. Okay, I also want to, I think Camera Hub finished installing. But why am I not getting a menu for it? It's like I don't... Prompter. Is it actually connected? Overlays, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, this is not talking to my prompter. Let's quit it. Start over. Yeah, Web Presenter says it's doing RTMPS. Okay, interesting. And it's definitely VBR. So yeah, okay, back to the camera hub. I'm confused why. Okay. Ah, it is there. Okay, great. Do I have a way to show you this? I might have to roll this camera over here. Ugh. Oh gosh. It's caught on itself. There we go. Untangled a little bit. So let's see if I can get this camera at an angle to show you the teleprompter. This is all about Frank's question. See if we can get this. Okay, not the best. I can't unfortunately move it more. I'm right at the... Oh, there is some more slack. Okay. Great. Then we're going to focus. So that's what I'm looking at on the teleprompter. But there's a new feature which is showing crosshairs. So I can choose what symbol. That's cute, little camera. I'm gonna make it a cross, and I think I like red better. So I'm gonna make this red. And then what I want to do is put that where the camera is. So see how this isn't going to look right from your angle, but I'm going to put that. You can see the camera through the screen now that it's not bright white. So I'm going to line up the crosshair to where I see the center of the lens, which is right there. So if you're looking at it from my angle, it's dead on. And now when I look at the crosshair, I'm looking at the center of the lens. And that means, yeah, so now I can just leave this configured like that. So now when I put this back, oh, where did the crosshair go? Oh, funny, it's on the other monitor. Oh no. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it doesn't handle spaces very well. Okay, so that's a little bug. I just can't change. Well, we'll have to tell them about that. It does not do well when I switch between windows. That's irritating. Okay. Come back. I liked it. Now it's not coming there. Darn. Oh well. Well, I know roughly where it is. It's like right there. Anyway. This is all to say, oh, I see Chrome has 6 downloads pending. Thanks a lot, Chrome. This was all to say to Frank. Oh, he's in the chat, busy answering questions. I'm way behind. How long does it take me natural live streaming? Go back and look at some of my earlier ones because they're not great. I think that's true with everybody. It takes practice. I will say one of the reasons I started doing live streams was because I was doing so much online teaching at the beginning of March 2020 that I realized it was essentially the same as live streaming, where I just had a little bit more pre-planned content, but that got me over a lot of the, before the online teaching, I was doing a lot of in-person teaching. So that was a lot of practice for it already, being, feeling a little bit more comfortable on camera, I guess. Yeah, Matt says, it takes a while to look at anyone's old feeds and you can see improvement over time. Absolutely. Okay, let me scroll back to now. Frank says, I have to go to sleep now. Can you ask your audience about their thoughts on the feedback about our new alpha camera? You can also show them the comparison table. Sure, yeah. So, let me grab that table. So Yolo Live is working on a new camera, which they had at NAB last year, or not, IBC. So I did a short little video featuring it from the booth, but it hasn't shipped yet. So they're still working on it. I think it's going to ship soon. It is a Micro Four Thirds camera also, no screen. It's not the same form factor as a box camera, but it's kind of similar in that there's no screen, no buttons. It's meant for being a remote camera, part of a remote rig. And so Frank was working on this comparison table, comparing it to like the Blackmagic camera or the Mevo camera or just an iPhone. Obviously, the iPhone does not have interchangeable lenses and stuff. One of the cool things that the Alpha Cam has is autofocus that's like on a separate sensor that can do like depth sensing. So it's pretty fast at autofocus. It looks like it does have NDI with a dongle, and it ties into the YoloBox software, so the YoloBox will be able to control it, all the settings in the camera. With audio input, no battery, no SD card, so it's really just the camera. It's just a sensor for like a Micro Four Thirds lens to add that into the YoloBox. Definitely interesting. So let's see. I'm assuming that the quality is going to look just as good as every other Micro Four Thirds camera. So it's more about like what are the things you connect it to and how do you get it on the network and stuff like that. So, yeah. Gwen says, oh, this is about the camcorders. I get a lot of why from pros who don't do live when I tell them I use a camcorder. It takes folks a minute to realize live is a slightly different beast. That is also true. People don't really realize that. Mr. Sile Jam says, want to shoot cooking videos and live streams as well as occasional talking head videos. Can I use a couple Mevo cores? Is a 4K recording quality good enough compared to with dedicated DSLR cameras? Yeah, I think it is. So in the video that I did on my channel last week, I actually replaced, like for that shot from the table, I actually took out my normal camera and I put this camera in place of it behind the teleprompter as if I were using it for a studio shot. And then I hit record in the app, and it recorded 4K to the SD card. And that is what I used in the video for everything from that point forward. That camera angle was a 4K recording from the camera to that SD card. And as far as I can tell, it looked exactly the same as everything else. Like, it's great. It's solid. I think it's a good kit. It has a battery, which is great. One thing I didn't mention in the video is that the battery, there's no like battery compartment or like slot like you would expect on like the Blackmagic camera or even my Lumix cameras, but it is replaceable. So you can unscrew this back panel, take it out, and then it looks like a regular camera battery inside. So you can replace it, which is nice because built-in batteries for things are, when they're not replaceable, eventually the battery will just die, and then that's unfortunate. But this won't have that problem because you can always replace the battery when you need to. It's just not meant to be like replaceable like a mirrorless camera, not quickly. But yeah, this can definitely record 4K internally just fine. It'll look the same as most other things. The I think I wouldn't get this as a studio camera if you're only going to be recording with it, but if you want to do live streams with it, I think that's where it makes sense. Like, I mean, I guess it would work just fine as a studio camera that you can control from an app, but there's probably better options if that's your only plan with it. But if you're planning on doing live streams with it also, then yeah, it's a good kit. I just love the Mevo multicam software and so easy to use. Guess I'm trying to talk myself into buying the cores. Oh, have you already used the Mevo cameras? I mean, it's a huge step up in quality compared to the original Mevos, for sure. To be fair, the word camcorder still does give VHS recorder on your shoulder vibes. I know. You say camcorder and it's like, you just expect giant shoulder thing. Camcorders are awesome. Great for conferences. Everything's in focus. Matt says, I don't need a camera. I need guests to work right. So I do think the Mix Minus is coming very soon. Oh, that's good to know. That's great. Matt is frustrated that Yolo Live is busy with a camera when they have so much work to get their firmware fixed. When software is 1.8, it should be out of beta. I agree. Oops, where did the cat cam go? This is the problem with wireless NDI. I kind of agree. I think there is... Oh, camera's a separate team. True, yeah. Still, I think that there is a lot of little details to fix in the YoloBox that they should absolutely prioritize. I'm actually kind of tempted to do a video about it, explaining everything that needs to get fixed. It's so close to being like perfect, but there's just all these little things, and they're not like it doesn't require new hardware. It wouldn't require like, it's just a lot of little details, and I really, really want them to fix them. So, you know what? Maybe we should crowdsource this. Maybe I can get all of your comments about what things you want to get fixed in the YoloBox, and then do like a compilation video of all of them. Let's do that. If you have any suggestions for what things that YoloBox should fix in the Ultra or Mini, put them in the chat now or put them in the comments later, and I might even solicit this feedback in a short video also. But I really want them to tighten that up and polish it off. So to be clear, I'm not asking for new features, but things that are the existing features that aren't working quite right. So one example would be remote guests. Like, you really want the Mix Minus feature so that you don't hear yourself on a call. Things like that. So yeah, let's start a list and then let's get Frank to fix it. Do you want a video or just text? Just text is fine. Yeah, you can just drop in comments. I will turn it into a video. If you do want to send a video, that's fine too. But no, just text is good enough for now. Can the YoloBox Ultra receive more than one NDI input stream at a time? Maybe I should power it up, and we can try it. Let's do that. Let's go over to Kitten Cam really quick while I get the YoloBox. Oh, they're so cute. Okay, YoloBox Ultra here. And I guess I should set this camera back up for the side shot that was my original plan for this camera. The goal was to be able to show things at this desk and we're gonna do like that kind of angle, I think. So I have a little wobbly. Yeah, so now I can do, don't need a lighting iPad. So now I can show, this table is too small. I need a bigger table. Yeah, YoloBox Ultra in the PK1 cage, which also doubles as a stand. So you can get this thing turned on. I don't have any video cables here to show, but I can show NDI stuff wirelessly. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, let's boot that up. DSLRs are better for me for weddings for the cinematic look, for blurry backgrounds. I think you can get some camcorders with decently wide apertures. A lot of software doesn't work well with Mac spaces, unfortunately. I suspect it's not a popular enough feature. Well, it is brand new too. Hello, Mark. Good to see you here. Okay, we're getting the thing boot up. Camera says, for me, it's about simplicity. Watch a Blackmagic video on the new studio camera, too complicated. I understand their ecosystem is important, but simplicity is my #1 need. I mean, nobody says the Blackmagic cameras are simple. I agree. Speaking of camcorders, fingers crossed for me, please, as I await insurance decision on a claim for accidental damage on my $3,500 camcorder. Oh no! Yeah, we will cross our fingers. Oh, my poor little NDI cameras for the cats are not doing great. Graham says, I remember that I have my dad's old VHS recorder in a cupboard. Wonder if it has a clean feed. I don't think I have any VHS devices anymore. I should fix that. Okay, why are you not finding the network? You have Wi-Fi. Oh, I got signed out. That's weird. Anyone know a source for the ATEM power plug with a switch? The ones I used to buy are out of stock. Oh, I only know of that one that I think it was somebody in Canada was making. Oh, Mr. Style Jam says, never use Mevo cameras, but use Mevo multicam app on a couple of iPhones. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, okay. I think that was one of their pro features. Oh, we have a firmware update to install on the YoloBox. Look at this. We have, oh, that's not exposed well. Let's fix that. The desk overhead 9AB is that camera. Maybe if I dim this, it'll, oh, it's already all the way down. Okay. Let's go like that. A little better, and then focus on this part. YoloBox 1.8 is available. RTMP pulls video input, web control beta. That's weird. I thought I already installed this. 5 local videos. RTMP config directly set up. Custom text color for rolling captions. Screen rotation remains after reboot. Video sources can be renamed and rearranged. Optimizations for encoding modes. Okay, good. Oh, multicam now supports NDI and cropped videos. Cool. Let's install that. I could have sworn I installed this already. It fixed a few things, but breaks some things. 1.8.2. Oh, maybe that's what it was. I may have had 1.80 or something. Blackmagic camera menus are better than most. I agree about that for sure. I definitely agree. The menu system on the Blackmagic cameras are better than most. Okay, I might switch the cat cam back to the map because that is annoying that it's flickering. Let's go back to the map. 182 in particular does not need to reboot if it's just software update, not firmware update. Oh, cool. Okay, good. Mr. Style Jams has bought the Mevo Start 3-pack around Christmas, but returned without opening it because I felt an update was just on the horizon. Good instinct. Love the cores, but building up the courage to drop $2,300 on a pair. It is a chunk of change for sure. I wish they were a little bit cheaper, I will say. I feel like a couple $100 cheaper would be really nice. But yeah, especially because they don't include the Ethernet adapter. Oh, here's a question I can get to while we wait for the firmware to update. Can you put a chroma camera with background into the super source on an ATEM Extreme? Into a super source. I don't have the ATEM Extreme here to show that, but I do have, let me think actually, if I can pull up the multi-view of, no, I don't have a good way to do it with Lily's upstairs. But I can emulate it here. And I think there's no special features in the one ATEM I'm using for this. So I think the answer is no. So in the box source selection, I can choose, yeah, you can't do it on the Extreme, but you can do it with this ATEM. So the box sources are just the inputs, but you can't, the way the ATEM works, the chroma keying is after the input, not like on an input. Some of the other switchers do it where they modify, it's like modifying the source video so that that source is always like has a transparent background from then on, or has a background or whatever. ATEM does not. So you can't do it with the Extreme because you can't choose a, there's the chroma keying is using an upstream key. There's no separate, like, it doesn't become a source. And then if you have an ATEM with multiple mix effects, you can do it there because the mix effects are a source that you can use in other things. So for example, I can create a chroma key layout on ME2, and then I can use ME2 in a box. And that's something unique to the bigger ATEMs, not the ATEM Mini Extreme. So if you look for any of the ATEMs that have multiple MEs, this one has 4 MEs, which is why it's called the ATEM 4ME Constellation HD. There's also the 2ME Constellation, so you could do it there, but yeah, not on the Extreme. So the best you can do is, yeah, not really. It's awkward. Yep. Sorry, I thought that was more of a demo, but it really wasn't a demo. Michael says, I got the Mevo Start free back in the day when Vimeo gave it as a freebie for their premium plan. Whoa, I never heard about that. That's a weird deal. The bigger MEs are more expensive, especially in South Africa. Yeah, totally. I mean, I think the cheapest one that can do it would be the that one doesn't even do it. It'd be this one. Yeah, this is the first one that has 2 MEs. This, I still think this was such a weird one to release with no super source. Anyway, 2ME Constellation HD would do it. Your other option is to do the chroma keying in an Ultimat. So that's what these are for. This would work. The cheapest one would work. So with this, the idea is you let this box do the chroma keying, and let me see if I can find the inputs and outputs on this. So you can do it with you can load graphics into it if you don't need a video background, but if you did want to feed a video background in, you can also. But then what you get is you get a HDMI and SDI output that is the actual chroma keyed video. So you run your camera into this box. This does the compositing, and also it's also a better keyer than the ATEM, so that's another plus. And then that would output the finished video into your ATEM. So that's how you would do it with a ATEM workflow. We have another firmware update to run. 186. Replays do not show overlays and scoreboards. Improve live streaming in vertical streaming mode. Optimize the slight stutter observed in replays intro. Good. Audio mixer automatically synchronizes with the renamed video sources. Okay, we're going to install this one. This one may not need a restart because this is not a firmware update. Andre says, how about doing it on the preview and then put that in as a video source? Can you set a super source box to be preview? I'm looking at this ATEM and I don't have ME1 preview as an option for the super source. So I'm assuming that's the same in the other ATEM. Let's go try it on the ATEM in Extreme, which I have over, I think it's, shoot, I forgot the IP address of it. It is Lily's ATEM in Extreme 104811. It was close. So in here, super source, you can set super source as a super source source. That's weird. I don't know why you would do that. But no, I don't have I don't have a preview option here. So yeah. Okay, I think this thing is finally updated. Are we version 180 about device 186? Okay. So here's all my events. What was I doing? Oh, NDI sources. How many NDI sources can you connect? Right. Let's see how many NDI sources I can connect. NDI. I should be able to find my cat cam. Yeah, there we go. PK phone. And then let's bring that in. There's the cats. Can I bring in another NDI? Pro convert. Let's see what my pro convert is set to. That is this one. We will encode not ME1. Let's make it just be my main camera here. So it'll be this camera. Oh yeah, okay, that worked. And then one more, which I have another NDI source on the network, which is my OBS, which is actually showing the comments, which isn't really going to work here, but it's fine. So it's showing the weather ticker. This is an example of, let's chroma key this. Key type, oh no, not chroma. I need to, maybe I can crop it. Can I do that? Because I want to be able to use it as an overlay. That's a bummer. I can't really do that, can I? I can't use a video source as an overlay. Let's see, cropping, aspect ratio, custom, height. Can I do this? Is this going to work? Well, I can't use it as an overlay, so not really. Darn. Oh well. But yeah, okay, so I have 3 NDIs. Can I add another one? No, 3 is the max. Andre is correct. But that's cool. Local video up to 5. Can I add SRT? I can. Oh, this is This is new. This is a new layout. I kind of like it. Maybe I can do a picture-in-picture. This with this, the cropped one. Yeah. Now that it's cropped, I can get rid of the border. That's how I can do it. So with the cropped NDI source, I can use it in a picture-in-picture layout, and now I do get that. My software version is 1.86. I just updated. Hello from Colombia. Good to have you here. You should be on the map now. That's exciting. Let's show the map. Oh yeah, I see you in Colombia. Cool. Okay, so I got my little layout with the weather banner on the bottom now. That's fun. What were we doing? Oh, my wireless NDI is not doing super great. I can see it's choppy. I really should have plugged that in to the network. Adam says, or get multiple ATEM minis and use them for chroma keying, then plug SDI HDMI out into your super source enabled ATEM. True. Yeah, you can use an ATEM mini for chroma keying also in addition to the Ultra Studio. That's true. It's cheaper. It's because you can usually get the ATEM Mini Pro is $295 now, new. So you can probably find an original ATEM Mini for even cheaper. And that would be a good, affordable chroma key box as well. Dan Spinning Video says, chroma key on preview, preview to HDMI out 2, wire HDMI out 2 to HDMI in 8. That would also work. That's roundabout. But I would recommend, that's going to be fragile. I would recommend doing it with a separate ATEM or Ultimat. That's the word. Beat Process says, question. If you use Q, it'll actually make it show up right here in the future. So I don't miss it. I need a 3-way split screen like Sling Studio does. And does any low budget device do split screen? I need 3 HDMIs on the output like Sling Studio. Should I just use OBS to a cheap laptop to get 3 cams split with HDMI to USB adapters? You can. You're gonna need a computer fast enough to run and with enough USB bandwidth to run 3 HDMI capture cards. What's the cost of this going to end up being? The capture cards are cheap. You probably end up needing a USB hub because you're not going to have enough USB ports on the laptop. Cheap laptop, you might be disappointed with the performance of that once it's doing this. So, I don't know what your definition of cheap is. Could work, but otherwise, what's your definition of low budget? Because that kind of layout is something that you get in some of the higher end devices. So actually, I can do it here in the YoloBox. I can do a 3-up. Maybe that's not the right. Maybe you want like here's a 3-up view. So I can do 1, 2. I really need another full video source, not just the. Let's add a SD card video. Let's add. Oh my God, there's so many little random recordings. What if I add? Oh, these are all the ISO recordings. That's what it is. Maybe I should do. I'll just do some drone video. So I can go and add a 3-up view with 1, 2, 3. And I can also choose a background, which is great. Yeah. So this does it, for example, right? So this is pretty straightforward to get your 3-up video layout. And this is not, however, this is not cheap. This is like $1,300. The other one that can do it is the Major Director Mini, which is a smaller box but same idea. It can do these kind of composite layouts without going through a computer for it. But the yeah, I don't know about low budget. Three cam tail air kit with YoloBox Ultra. Nice little setup for a small studio implementation. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think the well, I mean, if you need PTZs, otherwise I wouldn't go with the tail airs because their whole point is PTZs. But if you just want fixed angles, then you can get other options. Maybe the wireless NDI camera is under the weather. Is that a weather pun? Christian says, if one wanted to create an animated PowerPoint presentation with a green slide as a placeholder, then output this via HDMI to the ATEM YoloBox, could one use this solution to create simple transitions? I see where you're going with this. That's an interesting idea. Chroma key that out. The timing on it is going to be really tricky to get right. But I guess, yes. I guess you could. So I don't use PowerPoint, but I do use Keynote a fair bit for motion graphics stuff in videos. Just because it's so easy. I kind of like this idea. Let's open Keynote and try this. So if I do a blank slide with a green background for chroma keying, then I want to do some sort of transition animation. So we go new slide, and then what are we going to do? Should I try to add maybe I can add my brand colors. Let me grab that graphic really quick. So I can do something with this. So let's make this animate in. So let's do animate, build in. Let's say fading effects aren't going to work super well with chroma keying, but if we do a move transition, it should work. So let's see, what does, maybe a wipe? Oh, that's got too much of a, it's not going to look good unless this moves somehow. So we need we could do that. Okay, let's do that in, and then build out. Let's do something that's too much of a fade. That could work. Whoa. No, crumble. Oh, I like that. Let's do crumble. Let's see if this works. So if I play this, whoa, play. So we got green, and I'm going to go to the next. I'm going to hit next. We do this, and then we do that. Can we use that as a transition? How do I do this with, I really need a second laptop for this, but yeah, I think this will work. So if I go to the ATEM, and this is going to be weird because I'm using this computer and showing it to you. So really what I want is, oh, I can put it on the iPad. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to save that Keynote file to iCloud. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to save it to my iCloud drive. And load it on my iPad. That way I can get a video feed for this that's not tied to the computer I'm using. So you can do it on a second computer. Oh, apparently Keynote uninstalled itself from my iPad. Cool. Okay, we're gonna let that download. I lost that question. Whose question was that? Christian. Okay, there we go. So this, I'm going through this extra hoop because I'm using the computer that I'm controlling the ATEM from, and it's also running Keynote. So like ideally this would be on a separate computer running PowerPoint just for this, but I'm going to run it on an iPad instead just because I don't have a PC. The fade transition won't look good, but it all depends on your chroma keying. So we'll see. Once this thing downloads. Let's see, there was some other chatter about the three up layout. Michael says, anything more than 2 cameras, I always go hardware switcher. It's too finicky otherwise, especially for mobile. I would tend to agree with that. MT says, when you use multiple ATEM minis, you lose the direct camera source instead of the ultimate that can loop through the camera. Yeah, but I would argue that if you're doing chroma keying, you probably never want to use that camera angle with the green background anyway, so it's probably fine. Michael says, external Thunderbolt PCIe with an Elgato Camlink Pro 4 inputs is pretty cheap and going to be more stable than USB hubs. Pretty cheap? Really? I don't know if I would say it's pretty cheap. It's affordable. I wouldn't call it cheap. What's the total cost on that? That's going to be like, because the PCIe enclosure, for just one card isn't as much as the other ones, but it's still like $250. Yeah. And then the Elgato Camlink 4K is, the card is also $230. So, no, that's not the right one. Elgato Camlink. What's the, no, it's not called Camlink. What's it called? Pro? B&H doesn't even have it anymore. Oh, there it is. Game Capture Pro? No. They don't even, do they even sell it anymore? I don't even see it on B&H anymore. We're looking for this version of Elgato's, but this is a $550 card. But this would work also. But yeah, Elgato I thought had one. Elgato Camlink Pro. Out of stock. This is the one you're talking about. $250. So let's say you can get it for $250. So we're talking about $500 for this and that, which I wouldn't call it cheap. But yes, affordable. Okay, Keynote finished downloading. So I'm gonna go get, download the transition PowerPoint and then play it. And then next slide. Great. Okay. So now, because this is plugged in, I have a wire for this plugged in. I actually have a video source of this on the stream. So where is it? This one. And if I go to next slide, you can see it's going to actually do that animation. This is running from Keynote on the iPad. So now that it's a source in my ATEM, I can actually use it as a key. So let's go set that up as, I guess, upstream key, because we need the chroma key. So let's use upstream key 4. Sure. Chroma key from the desk iPad. And the goal here is that we're going to just leave this on all the time. So we're going to sample that green chroma key 4. And then we're going to tweak. I mean, it's a perfect green, so I guess that makes sense. What I really should have done is put something on the blank slide for testing. Theoretically, this is on. So if I run Keynote, hey, that's kind of cool. That worked. That was it. That worked. I love it. So I'm tapping on the iPad to run to the next transition. There it goes. And then falls away. That's pretty good. So you just have to, if you want to use this as a transition, you would have to manually change your camera angle while the transition is covering everything. So I'm going to go like this, and then once it's there, I'm going to change my camera angle, and then it falls away to this angle. That's a pretty good trick. Good thought. Good thought. That worked surprisingly well. Thank you for the idea, Christian. Yeah, I like it. Poor man's what's it called? Animated stingers. Stingers, that's the word. Now map that to the stinger button. Slow it down to be good for when you change to the desk. Yeah, so well that's the other cool thing is that like it's whatever speed I want it to be. So I mean the transition I can slow down, but once it's here, I can wait however long until I run the next one and then fall away to the new angle. But I did notice actually that my chroma key is a little bit off because too much of my own green is getting removed. So let's tweak that. Where is that? Is it the foreground? Key edge? There we go. Where's that coming? Oh. So I don't need any key edge. Where is, maybe it's spill. Aha, spill is doing it. I don't need any spill suppression because I don't have any. Oh, I do need a little bit of spill correction. That was a little bit too much green showing through. Pretty good though. There we go. It's pretty good. It is a nice trick. Any good video playback software that is reliable? Looked at MPlay, but it's $2,000. I've never even heard of MPlay. We use VLC now, but it doesn't do everything we need it to do. Yeah, VLC is not gonna, you're not gonna be happy, I think. I have had good luck with an iPad, actually. So this is normally connected to this iPad on the desk, but the Live app, I've been using it for a couple of things now. But you can create these playlists of videos, and then because it knows it's connected to the ATEM, if I cut to the input this is connected to, it'll actually just auto roll the video, and you can choose what happens at the end of the video, like cutting to different angles or running an auto transition, things like that. So it's actually a great option for video playback, and it runs on an iPad, which is also handy because that means you're not like taking up a whole computer with it. I don't know. I think it's a great solution. Looks like the camera switch and transition can be automated in Companion. If you can control Keynote if you could script Keynote, then yeah, you could do a whole Companion setup with this. You need to edit these tricks into a video called Neat Tricks since you need more things for your to-do list. Yes. No, I actually have another video coming out soon, which was kind of that idea. I did, what was the one that I just did? Oh yeah, the how to draw on top of your live streams, which was from several weeks ago now when someone mentioned the Video Pencil app. I was like, oh, that's cool. I filmed a little video about it and then put that out 2 weeks ago 10 days ago on the channel. So I might do that with this Keynote idea too, because that is a neat trick. That trick is so cool. I agree. Sound Ace says, how do I connect a laptop, which will be on Zoom, to the ATEM Mini and show how to show it locally on a TV screen? I've connected Zoom laptop in ATEM input 1. Zoom to ATEM. C, USB-C to laptop to capture PTZ camera. Oh, where did the rest of it go? Looks like it got cut off. Okay, so if your Zoom goes into your ATEM, and if you want that on a TV screen, if you have the Extreme, you have 2 HDMI outs, so you could use 1 HDMI out for the screen, and then pass through that. So like in your ATEM Mini Extreme, I need to get my mouse under control. It glitches out every now and then. 10, 4, 8, 11. So in the ATEM Mini Extreme, there's the output. You can choose what goes out the different outputs. So output 1 can be your multi-view, output 2 could be your computer, for example. And then you would have that up on a screen so that you could see your Zoom participants on a bigger screen. If you don't have that option, because you're using the small ATEM, then your only real option is to run 2 HDMI outs from your laptop. So if you have 2 HDMI outs on your laptop, one goes into the ATEM, one goes to a TV. You can, in your laptop, you can choose what your screens are configured to do. So you can have them both mirror your second, like both external displays can be the same as each other. That's not going to work on a Mac M1 or 2 because you can't connect multiple external displays, but Windows laptops or other Macs can do it. Marlon says, you know the Sony Arc Zero, I plan to buy it soon. Is a good choice for my home studio, especially in low light situations. It's not the best in low light, but it's going to be better than like similar size cameras. I do have it, and it's been a while since I've used it. I used to have it on the desk here for a little close-up shot of the Stream Deck. I used to have it clamped here. I should bring it back. It was a little close-up shot of showing the buttons. It is nice that it's so tiny, but yeah, where is it? I kind of want to just connect it. This is why I need more cables on this desk so I can plug things in like this. I might go run and get it in a second. What was the name of the iPad video playback app Aaron mentioned? It's called Live App Pro, which is almost impossible to Google for, but the link is liveapp.pro. And do I have a video about it? I don't have a video about just it by itself, but it's in this video about a bunch of other apps. We see your prototype studio layout on the iPad. If you build the conversation area, will you eliminate the demo table? Yeah, so I'm still trying to figure this out. Still not totally set on my new layout, but the this is my studio, and right now I'm sitting like here, and that is, I kind of want to change it to just have more floor space available in this room. So my thought is move the streaming setup over here to this L desk and somehow get the camera behind these monitors up here. This tabletop is actually a lot deeper than my current desk. So the monitors, I would have more space to work with. Like right now, the monitors eat into 6 inches of the table, so I'm limited here. But with that new desk, I would have this full tabletop available because the monitors will be covering the back part of the desk. And then this would also be as wide as the demo table currently is. This is what, 55 wide. So that's, this table I'm sitting at is 47 wide. So I would have an extra 8 inches or so. And then the L shape also would give me more room. The rack would go over here. The downside of this option is that the rack would not be visible in the back of the shot like it is now, which I like. And I just can't figure out how to keep the rack visible in the shot and also do everything else I want to do with the layout. Because the goal here is that I want to clean up the room, for one. But I also want to make this little podcast area. So like imagine that you have a camera angle looking at a person sitting here. You have a camera angle looking at a person sitting here, and the shelf in the background is fine. That's decorative. And then a wide shot of both people. One of my goals is to be able to actually film podcast stuff here with people, but also that it ends up being a better setup for when I'm doing little fake setups with rigs. So like testing the Mevo cameras, I can set up the Mevo cameras to film a more realistic thing than just me at this desk. So that's the idea. So, oh, and then, yeah, the other thing is I need for certain videos I film, like when they're not for this channel, I don't want all the clutter in the background, and I want just a gray background. So that's the other thing I would shoot at these chairs. But yeah, I would lose the demo table because this will become the demo table. So kind of like what I'm trying right now is, can I use the space in front of me for demoing things like the YoloBox? And I definitely need a little bit more room than I have here, but it is, that would be the idea. So I remember the studio setup you set up was in Seattle. It was a nice size layout for the 2 chairs layout. Oh yeah. Looks like the rack needs to go even to another corner if he focuses on the seating area. Maybe. I know it's really tight right now. So if I do put the rack there, it's close to the chairs, but I don't think you would see it if I frame the shot right. Right. Will I use an Ultimat to get rid of the clutter? I would like to be able to set up a good green screen setup here, but maybe once it's set up with the chairs like this, I can put the green screen back there and pull it up when I need to. But I don't know. You can add a third table, make it a horseshoe with the rack behind it. There's not quite enough room for that here. It's not that deep of a room. And if I do that, I basically lose. I don't have the ability to get a shot of the chairs. Actually, that would end up being a lot like a variation of this that I had a while ago was, I think it was set up this way for a New Year's stream a couple of years ago. It was essentially set up like this. Maybe that's actually fine. Oh, that's too wide. It would have to be like that. So I wouldn't get an L, but the shot was like this. And then I do have the rack in the back. The problem with this is that if I have my monitors and stuff on the back of this table, it's so cluttered. It's just such a disaster. It's like this setup right now, which I have here is the problem. Like there's that pole and like all these wires and stuff back there. There's no way that it looks good on the other side. So I'm trying to make it look good, and putting it all up against a wall is one way to do that. but there's no version of this being in the middle of the room that looks good. So yeah. But that I did have that set up for a stream. I think it was it was New Year. It was 2023 New Year. So that was this setup, which I actually like. I think that's actually fine. Oh, funny, I swapped that out with the Mac. But yeah, the rack is visible. You can see the ATEM in the displays. I could put the TV up in this corner again. The problem is that the backside of this is a giant mess. I think I included. No, I don't remember where I have a video of that. Yeah. Run cables through PVC piping at creative. Maybe. I don't know. My problem is that I'm at a console desk, which as a desk is great, but not much area to as a desk area. If I was serious about live streaming, I would lose my console desk. Time will tell. That's the problem I'm noticing, is that like there's a lot of different needs when you're like controlling a bunch of equipment versus wanting to just have a work surface. So paint the rack green and disappear it. Put the rack between the chairs. I don't want the rack in the podcast shots. That's the problem. Yeah. Upper Canada Musicians Association says, have you had the same issues that Doug was having with the HDMI out of Mac silicons? Apparently he's using little dongles to get his Mac to play nice with ATEMs. No, I haven't had any problem. I plug them in all the time. I haven't looked at this video though, so I'll have to see what that is. But no, I have, well, mine are connected through, right now my Mac M2, Mini M2 is connected through a Blackmagic converter. So it's HDMI pass-through goes to this monitor, and then the SDI from the converter goes into the ATEM for showing it on the stream, and that works. I do plug in my laptop into the ATEM when it's at the table all the time. It seems to work fine. I don't know. How about making the desk longer? No L, but a longer desk. Would it be for this? Well, the problem is any longer I start losing the ability to get into that. Oops. See, with this table here, it's getting really tight to be able to get the shot of the podcast set up. Just because it's like really eating into that room. I guess I could scoot it over actually, because that shelf would go back behind the desk. Should I do this? Actually, Doug addressed this. Okay, I'll have to go watch that video. I don't know what this is about then. Put a cover over the front of it and cut through the wall so you can get to the back of the rack. No, so the pink walls are outside walls, so I can't do anything there. The only wall I can cut through is the gray wall, but I don't want to because it's nice paint, but also because on the backside is actually a bunch of storage, so I can't really get to that anymore. Could the chairs have half rack of mounted underneath them? Oh, like raise the chairs up? That's hilarious. That would be really funny. That's a funny idea. Check out his video about M Series Max and HDMI out. I will. I don't know what this is about. I aligned both my walls with those long countertop shelves. Then building an adjustable table for one and doing videos. But my room is rectangular. Technically, mine is also rectangular. And it's not small. That's why I'm frustrated about why this is so hard. It's 20 feet the long way and 12 feet the short way. So I got space. This desk is staying here because, one, it's impossible to move, but I might start actually filming things over here. I'm thinking about setting up a camera so I can do like a side angle like that. Put the chairs on a 3-foot riser. Build a little podium beneath the seating area. By raising the chairs on a platform, you can hide cables. I don't know if I have enough room for that. That's an interesting idea. I had not considered it though. So if I did build a little platform, the one problem is that I do need to be able to access the rack, the gear in the rack pretty often, because like sometimes I add new things or I have to reboot things, and some of the things are not on remote power switches. So I can't hide everything. It needs to be accessible, but I do like the idea of tucking stuff underneath. Would it be possible? Would it be practical to build a little platform here for the chairs? That's an interesting idea. I'll think about it. I hadn't considered it before, so it's a new variable to add, at least. Do you have any idea how Yolo does the animated countdown timer overlay? I'm specifically interested in the slick alpha transparency they created and how one can do custom elements. I don't know what they use for that, but it's just built into the YoloBox. Yeah. Rack in front of the demo desk. That's really going to kill the look of the room. But then I also don't get it in the shot. Build a fake wallet is a closet you can go behind where cables are clean in the back. Closet wall. I don't know if I really have room for that. I could, I guess, build a wall behind that desk. It's going to really eat into the room, though. I don't know how much that actually helps. Put the rack where the shelves are and make the desk longer so you get your rack shot with your console across. Put the rack where the shelves are. Did I have that there at one point? No, I never did that layout. Make the desk longer. But then fill that wall with shelving for devices. It can then be your background. This is getting complicated. Use high chairs and small countertop table like PTZ Optics for uses for demos. Put a green screen and use AI generated wallpaper. That would solve everything. Maybe that's the solution. Just green. The whole studio is green. Yeah. Well, the other problem is that I can't really do too much in here until I start getting some of the boxes out of here that are meant for the house. So do the Star Wars trick. Take a photo of the rack and make paint of it. Adam Tao did that and it looks good. He's all green screened now. Live studio design consultation. Sorry, I started this. Hire a professional team to just come in and do it. Tell them your goals and walk away. Now somebody else's problem. I know. I'm really tempted to. I was actually thinking about. So I did this for the house. I actually hired someone to create a 3D rendering of the lower unit to test out paint colors and stuff. And where is, oh shoot, do I have them saved here? I think they're on my other computer. I really need to put them in my shared folder. Darn. Yeah, they're on my other computer. Renderings. Why are they not in my renderings folder? You'd think that would be a good spot for them. Let's see. I might have a couple of them. Yeah. So here's one of them. This is not a photo. This is a 3D rendering of the downstairs for the kitchen, because I wanted to look at like what does it actually look like if I do a black wall or a dark gray wall in this house. And I think it looks really good. So that is the plan. They're going to start painting probably in 2 weeks. But I hired someone to do this model in Unreal Engine and then do these renderings, and I'm very, very tempted to have someone do the same thing for my studio and do it like have them also figure out the layout of it. Because, yeah, the renderings look good. Oh, more questions coming in. Okay. Oh, instead of a photo, take a portrait video of the rack, and when you use the green screen, you can key it in. Same with the shelf. I could. How to mask a camera presenter over PowerPoint? Any way to do that with OBS or ATEM? Yeah, I mean, so with an ATEM Mini, you can do it with the upstream key. So if we just go over to, let's see. Let me route my ATEM Mini to have the computer screen. So let's go over to the ATEM. Where are you? Oh, I guess it's right here. Yeah. Oops. That's, I need to route that slightly differently. Let's try this again. You actually get the camera here. And now you don't get tunnel vision. Great. Okay. So back over, mask in an oval circular shape. Yeah, totally. So what I can do is, see how in my ATEM Mini I have camera 3 is my computer screen and camera 1 is my face. So I can go computer screen in program and then use the upstream key pattern. I'll make this bigger so you can see it. Fill source is going to be camera 1, and I can make it a circle. And then if we just turn that on, what is going on? Okay, it's weird. No mask. There we go. Softness. Let's drop the softness down. Now we have a circle. Size, we can shrink that down a little bit. And then if you use flying key, you can resize it. So now I can make it whatever size I want and position it somewhere that makes sense. So yeah, now I have a PowerPoint, or in my case, my computer screen, with the upstream key is doing the little circle. So you can do this in an ATEM Mini. It doesn't need to be the extreme. There's your little quick guide. Oh my gosh, we've been going almost 2 hours. We are giving Aaron more reasons to buy the Ultimate. Pixelmint, sorry for off-topic question. That's not off-topic if it's about cameras and Blackmagic's. If I have a Blackmagic Studio Camera 4K Pro, can I record 4K on a hyperdeck and feed it into HD Blackmagic Constellation? Yeah, totally. I've been doing that actually. So I've actually been doing exactly that. So I have a 4K hyperdeck in the rack, and I can connect a 4K camera into it, and then it outputs HD on the SDI. So no, on HDMI, I think. It's the monitor output. That's what it is. And if you don't have it outputting the overlays, then it works. So yeah, you can record 4K on the hyperdeck and then output HD to the switcher. Totally works. Helga will be the first podcast interview. Yeah. Okay. Oh my gosh. It's been 2 hours. We should probably wrap this up. Raul says, what do you think about the Blackmagic Design Micro Studio Camera 4K G2? Long name. I haven't used it yet. I think they're going to loan me one to check out. I need to follow up on that. I'm supposed to get one on loan here in a little bit, so I will be able to actually try it out, which will be nice. I think they're going to send. I think they might send two, or it was one. It might be two. Anyway, yeah, I'll check them out. This would be a great example of why I want the podcast set, because then I can set up a little 2-camera setup for that at the couches over there, and that would be. I'm a little bit annoyed about how that sticks out, but yeah, okay. What if I did that? What if I did go back to what I did for New Year's? Move that back here. The rack goes next to it, because that worked. I do need to double check that distance. I don't remember if that looks too close to me, which is a little bit annoying because now we're getting too close to the other cabinets on the wall, which I do not want to move. And then if I do that, I can move these over there, which feels a little better, I guess. The big thing here is I lose that. Oh, well, really, if I have any of these couches, I'm losing the big shelf that's just full of storage, but that's fine because it's ugly anyway. Maybe this is the answer. Let's see. What did I have when I had it set up this way? Did I do a studio tour when I had the studio in this layout? Because I had that other table still somewhere. I wonder where it was. Interesting. IDJ Mike says, has anything new been released that you knew about before release? Yeah, this camera actually. This was because I did the video for the launch, and it's one of the few that I've done that way. There's also this new Rode device, which I still can't name, but I do know the name and I know a lot about it, and I cannot wait to share it. I'm so excited. It comes out at NAB though, so it's only like 3 more weeks until you all get to find out about it. So I'm going to try to film a little release video that's going to come out on the first day of NAB. And then I'll go talk to them at the booth, do a little sneak peek of it, get some more footage at their booth. And then get to play with it after NAB. That'll be fun. What's your opinion of the $150 Zoe box, a 4K NDI encoder decoder? I don't think I've ever used that. What is, it sounds familiar. It looks like the, what's the name of the, it's not Atomos. Anyway, I had a little box that I used to use that looked like that, but I've never used it before. Share it now, we won't say anything. Sure. If he does a New Year's layout, does he always have to wear the New Year's jacket? Lee's Boring Left says, I did a micro 4K G2 question earlier. Well, let's see if I can find it. I don't see it. Anyway, I haven't used it yet, so I don't know how much help I can actually be anyway. Zoe Box is a great device, and support has been great as well. Good to hear. Yeah, I've never used it before. Interesting. Interesting. Stream 4K 30 and record that quality locally. Yeah, I've never tried it before. Maybe they'll be at NAB and I can go say hi. We'll see. Maybe I should just hire a professional to come in and just design, give them the constraints, like those wall shelves are not moving. My desk over there is not moving, but this whole half of the room is fair game. And I'm curious, what my options are if I literally don't care about how much anything costs. And let's just say like money is not a barrier here. Like what are my options, right? Then I can figure out if money is the actual barrier. But I'm curious, like what could I do in here to solve the problem? The problem is I want the space to look good when I'm in it. I want a desk big enough to have the two monitors and my teleprompter and camera. And I want the desk big enough to also have products on it that I can have an angle, 1 or 2 angles like this to show things out at the desk, as well as an overhead shot. And this podcast set. Maybe there's an AI that can optimize the space and design it with 1 trillion parameters. Yeah. I think a podcast set loft would look higher than the rack height. I mean, I do have 9-foot ceilings in here. It's an interesting point. I really need to work on the Chaos router. If the Chaos router is finished, will you build your own NDI decoder with a Raspberry Pi? Maybe. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of NDI decoders now that, yeah. When is NAB? April 13th to 17th. Yes. So weirdly, I'm actually going to be going to NAB from Italy. I have a conference in Italy, which got scheduled Wednesday to Friday. I wish it was like Tuesday to Thursday because I can't come home first because there's like events all the way through Friday night. So I leave on Saturday and there's no way to get back home Saturday and then turn around to go to NAB. So I'm going straight from Italy to Vegas on Saturday. I land at Saturday night. So I'm already missing the road pre-party where they're doing a sneak peek of the device again. And then I just jump right in on Sunday morning with filming. So do have some more details of that worked out though, so that I'm very excited about. I will be filming with Photo Joseph. We decided we're going to use 1 rig, do the same thing we did last year where it's 1 rig. We are both taking turns who's hosting. He has some speaking gigs, so I'm going to try to book most of mine during his speaking slots. And we do have a camera person now who's going to work with us. So that is fantastic. And also remote editor again. So be cranking out the content. It'll be fun. And then I think I'm going to bring whatever I'm bringing with me. I'm also bringing to Italy, which is annoying. So I'm trying to really limit what I bring, but I think I might still bring my normal like small camera kits of Insta360, which is just fun for B-roll and like running around the show floor and getting those drone shots. Probably going to bring the DJI Pocket 3. And then I'm debating whether or not to bring a small camera like this. I don't think I want to bring my own Lumix just because it's kind of big. But I brought this to IBC and filmed all my interviews and B-roll on this for IBC, and it worked great. So most of the filming I'm going to do at NAB is going to be with Photo Joseph's camera and that rig just for that project. But I do like to have my own ability to shoot my own stuff as well when I need to, just for the in-between times. So probably going to bring this, but maybe I can skip it and just shoot everything on the Pocket 3 because this camera got way better. Why not post a package to the hotel where you stay? Well, I don't think I'm bringing that much stuff that I need to do that and risk losing it or whatever. Yeah. Camera person, Photo Joseph, MBK, 1 recording rig, remote editor. Sounds like another killer NAB. Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. All this content's going to come out during the show. So that's the goal. Is like Sunday morning, I'm going straight to the road booth, film a quick little bit there, and that should then get posted within a couple of hours. So stay tuned. I'll go on Instagram and YouTube. Do you know about Set a Light? It might help you visualize room layouts and shots, but way easier to learn than Unreal. Never heard of that before. Lighting simulator. Oh, that's cool. Oh, it's not for like studio builds. It's for like actual lighting simulator. That's interesting. That might work. Move your rack to another room and then put a camera on it there, then key it into your video. Yeah, it's an option. It's to figure out shots, but you can place furniture and other props. I mean, I do want to figure out the shots in here too. So that is because right now, like I'm like, oh, let's pretend this is a camera and I'm gonna put a camera here and get that shot, which is not ideal, obviously. So maybe I will try to create a layout in there. That could be fun. Can you do the podcast from your kitchen table? I mean, in the kitchen, it looks good. It's not about so actually most of the House Files podcast episodes we've been filming in the house now because I actually have 2 on this I need to download and edit. But now that the house is actually taking shape, we're just walking around and showing things, which is more useful. But it's not necessarily about that. It's about like filming if I'm doing like videos for other people's events or other conferences online, or updating my course content where I don't want it to have this in the background. So I just need a plain background for that stuff. So that's the goal with that, the chairs. And then like a bonus would be, yeah, I could actually film a podcast in here with somebody else, but mostly it's just filming the content, the non-YouTube content for myself. And also, secondly is for doing these kind of test studio setups. So if I want to show, oh, let's set up a little rig with a Director Mini and show how you could use it to film your podcasts, I want to have a setup that looks more realistic for that. So that's the goal. Perhaps the time has come that you really get the rack out of the shot. Maybe that's what it comes down to. 9-foot ceilings. Build a mini loft for making more room in the room, but keep your stepladder on hand. Could build a mini loft. I could build a mini loft. It would be interesting. Okay. It's time. It's been 2 hours. This has been fun. What a random stream today. Hopefully this has been fun. We got some good questions. We got some good demos done. Nice idea of using Keynote or PowerPoint for doing animated transitions. That is a cool trick. Gonna keep that in mind for sure. And yeah, with don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And oh, I didn't load my. That's what's missing. I forgot this is the one annoying thing with my switcher is that in a power outage or when I turn off the power, my media pool doesn't load back the animated stingers. So let's load that really quick and get those back because that has my outro graphic. Where is the media pool? Let's restore the media pool. Are you going to load the animations back? There we go. Okay, those take a while to load up. Install all the stuff in a golf cart to make a mobile studio. Okay, so before I built this out, I did have a goal of setting up a little mobile studio in what could be mounted on a bicycle or a bike trailer. And then actually, let's see, broadcast bike. That is a thing now. Yes. So I didn't have to do it, and now, oops, my ATEM is busy spamming the spamming companion. Where's my super source? So this is kind of what I was gonna do. This is super cool. That this exists. Look at this. Look how cool this is. It would be hilarious to have that be like where all my gear is, and then be able to just ride it out of the studio. But no, that is not a not a thing I'm planning on doing anymore. But it'd be fun. It'd be fun to do that. Inside outside OB truck. Exactly. It looks like a tech hot dog stand, pretty much, yeah. Great. Okay, now does my like animation work? The companion is still freaking out about how many messages it got sent. When you load graphics back into the ATEM pushes all those messages back out to any connected device. So, yeah, it is busy freaking out about that right now. Let's give it a second to warm up. I should have done it at the beginning of the stream. That would have been smart. Saw you on Frank's live the other day. Yeah, I might actually go live with him on Wednesday, like in person, on video, not just in chat. Oh, there we go. Now it's catching up to all my button presses. There's the subscribe animation. Oh, it's really struggle busing today. There we go. You're gonna run it? There we go. Something is missing. Something is wrong. It didn't finish playing. Huh. I wonder if I have a clip 4 length 190. Media. You're gonna go? Weird, it got stuck. I'll have to fix that. Oh well. Fun. Yeah, let's wrap this up. This has been fun. I'm torn between Move and Alpha. Great show. I always learn something. Thanks. Well, thanks for joining. Oh, I really messed up my companion. Let's see if this works. There we go. Okay. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for all the questions. Excellent idea on the Keynote as a stinger. Thanks to all the channel supporters. We will be back next week, hopefully with a little bit more planning, and can demo some switchers again. And we will, yeah, hopefully. Or maybe I'll have a guest on next week. I can't remember what I said I was going to do now. We'll figure it out. I got a week to figure it out. We've got only a couple weeks before NAB. So next week, the week after, and then it's NAB. So no stream NAB week. So I will be busy at the show floor. But yeah, take care. We've got 2 more weeks of trouble to get up to. And maybe I'll do a pack with me the week before NAB. At least for members, at least for channel members, we'll do a pack with me. I can grab my cameras and throw everything into a bag. Yeah, okay. Thanks, everybody. See you all next week. This has been fun. Drink some water, pet a cat, and see you later.